WVTC Radio Detroit. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, X, and our website, www.wvtcdetroit.com, or download our WVTC app from the Play Store for Android users and the App Store for iPhone users. Thank you for tuning to WVTC Radio Detroit and the Community Bell Show with your host, former Wayne County Commissioner, Edna Bell. Stay tuned for insightful information Detroiters will find valuable. Text a friend and tell them to watch with you for news you can use. And now, your host, Edna Bell.
Hello, hello, hello. It's Monday afternoon at 4 o'clock, so it must be the Community Bell Show. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, on Monday at 4 o'clock, we are just so pleased to have you with us on the Stellar Award-winning WVTC Radio Detroit. I just go back to say we appreciate your voting us for the third year in the top 3 of the internet radio stations in the nation. And 2 of those years, we won the first place Stellar Award. So we're just pleased to have that honor. Pleased that you are with us. Pleased that you appreciate what goes on here at WVTC Radio Detroit. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you. Well, we've got, of course, a very special guest this afternoon, and you know him, but I'm going to introduce him anyway. But before I do that, let me give a shout out to my good friend, my sister, Alberta Tinsley Talabi, who just celebrated her 70th birthday yesterday at a wonderful celebration. So congratulations to my sister, Alberta Tinsley Talabi, 70th anniversary. You know, all of us don't make it that far. So that is truly a blessing. So celebration in place for Alberta Tinsley Talabi. We love you, we love you, we love you, and all you continue to do over on the east side. And as I talk about that, let me say that this coming Saturday, Mac Alive, the organization that Alberta Tinsley Talabi started 34 years ago, will be celebrating its annual Mac Alive Parade. Our parade is a wonderful parade, and as you already know, I'm the chairman of the board of the Mac Alive Community Organization, and we have a marvelous time. Our Tina Tinsley Hartman is the executive director, and boy, does she do a wonderful job as executive director. All the programs, all the volunteers, all the things that you would want a nonprofit community organization to do is done at Mac Alive. So we appreciate that. And we want everybody to come join us tomorrow, or rather this coming Saturday at the Mac Alive annual parade. It will go down Mac. It will end at the Boulevard, right across the street from Swanson's Funeral Home. And great time. We have a great time. We have a great time. There'll be all sorts of programs, all sorts of information. There'll be vendors. And of course, we always have food. We always have really, really good food. The hot dogs are the best. Food is done by her sister, Daisy Tinsley. I can't tell you what a good cook she is. Now, I'm just going to tell you, whatever Daisy puts her mind to, she does when she's in that room cooking. She is an excellent cook. So come out to Mac Alive's annual parade on this coming Saturday. Mac from the, what's that? And I have Connor all the way down to the Boulevard. So come see us, come see us, come see us. And then the other thing is this past Saturday, New Prospect Baptist Church's 100th anniversary. We're celebrating, and we had our block plot party on this past Saturday at Pembroke and Livernois and Stouffville and Santa Rosa. So it was a great time. And, you know, God is so good. He waited until we were almost done before he let it rain. And you know, all the forecasts of rain and storm and all that didn't rain on our parade. It was a great, great, great block party, community party. We had lots of community people come. We had games. We had hustle. I was trying to learn these new hustles. I only know one. I know the Stevie Wonder hustle. That's the only one I know. But I was trying to learn one of the others. But there were lots of hustling going on, and there were bouncy house and games for the children, games for the adult. We had bingo and we had bid whist, but we also had good information about how you can save your soul and how you can serve your community also. And across the street from New Prospect is Pasteur School. And Pasteur was having their open house also. And so we combined the two, and it was a great time. You know, New Prospect has a relationship with Pasteur where we have adopted the school, which is right across the street. We take care of whatever they need. They ask and we respond. And so it was a great day this past Saturday, and we were just so happy to have so many people there. And then the last thing that happened this Saturday was a program at Considine Recreation Center. It's Little Rock Considine Recreation Center. Had to do with saving babies. Had to do with saving babies. And our own station owner, WVTC station owner, Sandy Rose, put that together. And it was a great time. So much information had for people. So much information had for people. You just don't know how important it is that we take care of the babies. And we must continue to do that. So now with all of those, I won't introduce him. I'll just say Dwight's here. Now, everybody knows Dwight. Dwight Harris. Dwight, welcome again.
Thank you. Thank you.
We are always happy to have you. Dwight brings us such good information. You know, when he comes and talks about what goes on in the streets that some of us really don't know, he helps us to understand that and helps us to know how to help. Yeah. Dwight, what's going on these days?
Well, first I want to say, we fight back.
Okay, we fight back. What does that mean?
So this is one of the slogans for Kamala Watts' campaign
Okay.
where we said, and so as a man,
Okay. Okay.
as a man, like you don't see too many men like saying that they represent or they're gonna vote. So I want men to say that they're gonna vote. And one of the reasons when I think about it, like we never had a woman president, and not only that, we never had a black woman president, a black woman leading something that's tangible, something that we can touch, that we can see, that we feel that like it has something to do with us when it comes to voting. And so I know everybody feel that way. You feel like you are part of what's gonna take place if she's elected as the president. But one of the most important parts is that you go and vote and make sure that happens. I don't think people understand. Like you have to go and make sure that happen. You just can't have a thought about what you want and never make a move on it. Like
Oh,
you
I
really,
like that.
you really got to make some motion.
It's an action step, some
Yeah.
action that has to take place. You have to get up.
Yeah.
Make sure you're registered is the first thing.
Yeah.
Make sure you're and registering is really, really easy.
Yeah.
Real easy. Just go to the any of the clerk's offices and just register. All you need, if you don't have a driver's license, that's okay. All you need is a envelope. Somebody mailed it to you, a bill with your name on it and that address. That's all you need. Register to vote. It is so important. I continue to be disappointed in what happens in our primaries because the primary elections are really, really important. 15% of the people voted in Detroit in the primary election. That is just so unacceptable. Because, see, if you don't vote, you don't have a right to say anything to anybody about anything. So you don't come and say anything to me about what you don't like and what so-and-so did or what so-and-so didn't do because you didn't vote, which means you don't really care. And now after the fact, you want to complain. Well, you don't have a right to complain because you didn't participate. You didn't let your voice be heard by voting. Yeah. So please, 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 please register and vote. And I know there are people that you say, oh, I know Mary Sue's registered. She isn't. Mary Sue didn't register. She's making you think she's registered. Yeah. Make sure Mary Sue is registered and goes to the polls and vote. We have got to mobilize everybody we can get our hands on to get to the polls in November to vote. Yeah, it's important.
And one of the things, it's like you find when you talk to people, you're like, well, why you didn't vote? And so it always boiled down to they ain't had time. And so we're saying now ahead of time, way before the elections. They've been talking about it over a year now, about these elections. So now that you got time today, if you hear this, or if you hear, tell the people you know, your friends, that you got time to vote because they don't vote until November and it's August now, which means that you got enough time to prepare just to spend 10 minutes of your day.
Yes.
Every 4 years. Or whenever an election come up, every 2 or every 4 years, just to vote. And so it's just spending your time telling yourself that you're going to get up and go. It sounds simple, but that's the problem.
Yeah.
People don't find time to vote. They rather sleep in the morning because they could do it in the morning because you have time when you sleep.
Yeah.
So the reason we got to say this because a lot of people don't know that it's the time that they need to go vote. And if they find time, they own time, which they never, a lot of people never know the time that they have. They just do.
They've got lots of time just to schedule it.
Right.
Just own your own time. Yeah. And you'll be able to vote early. So you won't have to wait to the first Tuesday in November.
Yeah.
You'll be able to vote 2 weeks before that. So you can go anytime during the day at all different locations throughout the area. Please. And so you're going to hear this every week. Yeah. You're going to hear this every week that you've got to go vote. And if you've got a problem with it, call the station. We'll help you out. We'll figure out where you should go, how you do it. Please.
Yeah.
Do it. But call us. We'll find a way to help. Yes. We'll find a way to help.
And so that's one thing. Mm-hmm. And I don't think we will ever forget, these are historic times.
Yes.
We're living in a time where there's history being made every day. Like no other time that I can remember.
Yeah.
and I'm a young 56. So I don't remember no time that even on TV, like you see history every day. Like we
Yeah.
would never forget the things that we see on TV right now.
Absolutely.
We would never forget the time period of COVID, and from COVID rolling over into the presidency and the president that we had during COVID.
Oh,
It's a
help us,
lot of
Jesus.
things. There's a lot of things that went on, a lot of trauma.
Yes. And I think people are still living through that trauma. Because I've got a friend
There you
now
go.
who has contracted COVID.
Yes. Yes.
And that's one of the pastors, my pastor's wife, Shelly Esther. Shelly has COVID. She's recovering, but still, so COVID isn't dead, everybody. I want you to know that. You still need to protect yourself. You still need to have sanitizer available. And I know, I don't do big crowds as much as I used to do,
Mhm.
but you need to be able
Yeah.
to make sure you are safe. But COVID was traumatizing for this whole nation, for the world, not just us, for
It
the world.
was. And so as everybody know, I work for DWIN,
Mhm.
Detroit Wayne Health Integrated Network. And I proudly work for DWIN. And for that note, I want to say that mental health means health. I always say that because so many people now are saying mental health. Like there's an issue with mental health. And then everybody has some commentary, a narrative about mental health.
Mhm.
Mental health means health. And so when we talk about mental health, let us remember the reason that mental health is an issue now, because there's a stigma attached to mental health, which
Mhm.
means that people are being excluded and not given a fair chance to move on in life, to explore, to be productive. It means that somebody is excluding them.
Exactly. And mental health
Yeah.
is something physically wrong with your body. It's just like when I broke my toe,
Yeah.
they had to fix it.
Yeah.
So mental health is an issue that can be worked on.
Yeah.
Given the proper people, the proper diagnosis, mental health can be helped just like they helped my broken toe.
Yeah. And when you understand mental health, you understand that it's actually health. You would know that everybody is the same.
Mhm.
When you say mental health, you must understand that we are talking about the normality. How do we normalize everything where everything can be at peace on earth? So a lot of people don't think that can happen, but programs is all about normalization. It's about order and security,
Mhm.
peace, safety. That's what
Mhm.
programming is about. So when you think about mental health, I want you to think about normality. What's normal? What should be normal? And if you do that, make sure you look at yourself first. Because once you look at yourself, you will realize that the person that you're looking on the outside that you say have issues, you'll realize that you have them too. One of the things that I learned, when you point, there's 4 fingers pointing back at you. Whenever you point at somebody, there's 4 pointing back at you. And so what is this all about? This is all about removing the stigma by stop name calling, stop degrading, stop putting names on things, call things what they are. The name, if the name is black, is red, is yellow, call it what it is. Don't denote it and give it another name. That's where stigma comes from. That means that it's something about it that made you call it outside. You wanted to call it something that it wasn't. You want to call it out its nature. You want to take something out its nature to correct the thing. You have to leave things in this nature to correct them. When I say that, I'm talking about everything being normal.
Mm-hmm.
So if you leave it in its nature, that means that you have to learn what the nature is to change it. Don't try to change something and take it out of its nature and make it something else. You will continue to have what you call mental health challenges because you're trying to make somebody who they're not. So what do you mean? So in the mental health, what you're trying to do is normalize, mean that you, the person, the initial contact that works with a person to have a mental challenge, that person has to be able to identify the person that's having the issue. You can't be from college. You can't just be from social work. You have to live the experience. We have learned that lived experience initially helps a person that needs recovery, that's having mental health challenges, because that person has been there. We're asking that you understand that where the person that you don't understand, the only way that you can help them is to get down there with them. And let me give you an example. If a person is having a mental health challenge, you see it, you don't understand. What makes you an essential worker is that you will get down there on the ground with them and try to understand them. Not just because they choking, they coughing, and they can't breathe. That's an emergency. But I'm talking about a person that's doing something that you don't understand. Don't point a finger at them. Don't talk about them. Don't laugh. And if you want to help, and if you want to be essential, get down there and help them. That is mental health. That is mental health at its finest. That is being essential when it comes to mental health. You don't need all the other word jargon to understand what the work is when we talking about working with somebody that have mental health. Working with them means that you recognize that you have issues and that you can help that person. Means that you know what you needed when you was at your lowest level, whether you was on drugs, whether you had schizophrenia, OCD, whatever those issues are. There are people that have suffered and that's in recovery, had those challenges before. Now they're in recovery. You can too.
See, I think that's important to give people hope.
Yeah.
Because at some point in time, a lot of people are at a point where they just don't have any hope.
Yeah.
And I think those sometimes are some of the people that we see acting out in the streets because they don't have any hope and they just figured, oh, what the heck? I might as well just go on and act out.
Yeah.
I don't have any hope. Nobody's going to help me. I might as well just do whatever. People have to believe, and we have to show them that people care.
Yeah.
You just can't say it. Saying it is one thing, but you got to do it.
So one of the things I want the community to understand is why the I.
Okay.
So this is a new terminology that I come like. Nobody is saying it, but why the I?
Why to I?
Why the I?
Oh, why
the letter I? So what I'm talking about, so the last
Why
3 or
the
4
I?
years,
there's
a program or a department that was created in business called DEI. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. But let us recall that at first it was just diversity and equity. And then the I came. So I say, why the I?
Okay, gotcha.
So when we talk about inclusion, it was because even though there was diversity, I didn't say equity because it really wasn't
still
equity.
Hadn't gotten here yet, but
because equity, we couldn't get the full metrics, the numbers, the working of it, the product of it, it came inclusion. Because the people that we all were diverse, and so some of the people that couldn't make it again, they were excluded. They were moved to a side because they were they were gay, they were criminal, they had autism that wasn't understood, they had OCD. There was a lot of medical challenges, mental challenges that people suffered that people just didn't understand a long time ago. And when we talk about mental health, we talk about policies and procedures that were created in the workplace, in our community. And those policies and procedures were made by us, those people that were rewarded, that benefited from opportunity. We made the policy and procedure. We created inclusion by excluding our own. When we understand why the I is because we did it. We did it to ourselves. We put ourselves in a box. We can't remove the policies and procedures because we believe so much into them. Where the inclusion is, we're just going to include you. We'll just stop talking about you. There's so much more that need to be done when it comes to inclusion, because there's people that people just don't understand.
Yeah.
You would never understand if you never studied a person with autism. You would know the difference if it's a mental health challenge or do they have a disability. Mental health challenges are disability, but autism is different.
That's right.
You don't get the same mental health services if you have autism. We have an issue there too. There's a person I'm servicing a person that have autism. I mean, they have mental health issues, but as they have mental health issues, autism developed. They won't service them for autism if they have mental health.
So who services that person? They don't get any service? Really?
Mental health, they get the mental health treatment because autism does fall up under mental health. But if you had autism before, like you was born with it, you get the services for autism.
Wow.
So there's like I say, we're trying to we want to normalize what you don't understand. We want everybody to see things and understand it. We know that everybody don't. But in the mental health field today, we have to understand that what you see, you're not going to understand. Nobody understands what happened after COVID. Nobody understands the stuff that happened during COVID. Nobody want to talk about COVID. We've looked at all the programmings and stuff. Nobody talks about COVID. Nobody's did documentary, no documents on COVID and what happened during COVID. You know why? Because people don't want to talk about it. If you ever talk about COVID, look at all the show. Nobody talks about what happened in COVID. It's true traumatic. We need 10 to 20 years later where we can really talk about COVID. But however, we are being affected by COVID right now.
Sure.
Our kids were affected the most. Our kids went from bad to monsters.
Really?
They missed the misbehave. Like it's a chapter of being bad that they miss. No, for real.
But you know what? You're right, because when I think about those children who were graduating from the 8th grade during COVID and didn't have a graduation like other kids had. And then when they were going to the 9th grade, they didn't have a 9th grade. And the 9th grade is when you learn how to act in high school. It's when you learn how to be around all these thousands of kids that you were not around when you were in elementary and middle school. They didn't have a chance to do that. And so because they didn't have a chance to be around those children and be around teachers and to try and help them assimilate, they missed it. And they're never going to get that back. And you're right. We're not talking about how we help that group of kids get to the level that they should be, because they missed a whole year and a half, also almost 2 years. And then when they finally got back to school, it was virtual.
So when you look at those, so that was a whole different group of kids. So there were kids that were affected traumatically because they were virtually learning, which means they wasn't learning at all. And then trying to run from getting killed. We got to use the language that was going on during COVID. People were getting killed. We keep talking about murder, dead. We softened what was going on during COVID. People were dying in droves during COVID. We lightened the blow like it wasn't really nothing. We got dressed up and fancy at all the funerals, and we didn't mind going every day neither, because a lot of us went to the funerals like.
But we couldn't go to funerals though, because they weren't letting people in.
But some people were going, like people that wasn't following no rules and stuff. They crowded up at the funeral home.
Really?
See, you didn't know.
No, I didn't know that.
So that's what I'm saying. The people at home missed a lot during COVID. You missed a lot. There was a lot of stuff going on. And so what you
that
said,
truly was in the house.
So but what you
what can I say? I was in the house.
But you see what I'm saying? What you say is that people are being affected now. Yes, there were residuals of it. People are being affected now because they coming off of their high horse of COVID. Well, what you talking about, Dwight? Man, people had so much money. They bought food trucks. They bought all kind of business. It was so many things that they done with money. They had more money than they ever had in their life during COVID. People say Trump gave them some money. Like you were here like they had so much money. They believe that he drowned the money.
That's what's so amazing. It was their own money. It was government money that they got. Trump didn't give it to them. The government gave it to them.
But
they don't understand that.
Listen, that mindset, guess what it did? That's why they didn't go back to work. They got so pacified and baby by the money, they really thought that was real, that was going to keep going on. So that's a mental health issue. So you say, why didn't people go back to work? So what did they do though?
Yeah,
I'm trying to understand. What did they?
They didn't go back to work, and they don't have jobs now. How they live?
Okay, that's my point. A lot of them end up going into mental health services.
Really?
A lot of those people end up having mental health issues. oh, the numbers don't show like that. No, they calling now. People didn't realize 2 years later. Think people realizing now, oh, something is wrong with me. I'm not doing the same. I won't even go to work. It's been 4 years now. It's been 3 or 4 years. If you look at the course, what people say when they come, you will hear it. Like, it'll be like, people are going through something. Like, they're not saying the same things in court. Why this happened? Why I didn't pay money? You know how many people lost their homes because people had to stay in their homes because they couldn't get rent money, but the rules say you can't move them because of COVID. Those people that was in the homes was suffering. That's why they stayed in the home. But what if they was put out the home? They would have had nowhere to go. Think about the people that never was in the home. A lot of them was outside. Nobody was letting people in their homes then, remember?
Yeah.
Nobody could get moved or nothing. So there were people that needed to be moved that couldn't move. So where were they living?
On the streets.
You say, why they got so many homeless people? Not because they was the people that was living out. They just went in one area.
Oh, wow.
Think about it. It's evident. It's like you could just see it. I ain't had to read it. It's like evident that we're COVID is affecting us more and more every year. We keep looking like COVID is over. COVID is here.
It is over. The residuals of COVID are here and going to be with us for a while.
So when you hear COVID on the news, when people hear the trauma come back, that's a trigger.
Oh, wow. That's something.
We say, oh, ain't nobody suffering. Right. All you got to do, all the news people say, well, COVID is coming back around. Whoa! Or some people act like they're over here to go smoke weed or drink some liquor. Man, go get a fifth, man. I know I ain't here to just say that. Remember, go get me an ounce or something. Oh. No, for real though, if we look at what's real, like if we're looking at what's real, what we're going through it. So mobilization became a big thing now.
Okay.
We need mobilization units. Why? Because more and more people are suffering traumatically at home.
And it's being recognized now.
And it's being recognized to where we need some mobilization. We need deployment ASAP to a person to stabilize them at home. Our goal is so y'all work in the mobilization unit for D-Win.
What's a mobilization
So
unit?
mobilization is we mobilize when there's a crisis call. In Wayne County, D-Win do. And so when we mobilize, we come out to assess the situation, see what's going on. We'll get a call. A call will come through the 1-800 number.
Okay.
So the 1-800 number, and those people assess, have a conversation, and then they'll deploy it to the mobilization.
Okay, when you say they'll deploy you, they will call
send a call we get it on the phone.
Okay, you get and
all the workers.
How many people do they have right now who are in that unit?
But it's over 10.
Okay.
I know we got at least 5 or 6 units maybe running. I know midnights are starting up, which I would be working. So it's a
24-hour operation?
I would be working midnights. Okay. It would starting to be, I think, the end of the month, next month. Don't quote me, but the end of the month. And so the goal is to have a crisis mobile intervention 24/7 in Detroit to be able to respond on time. And like I say, the crisis mobilization is all about stabilizing. If we can't stabilize, we have found a stabilization facility to go to.
So what kind of situation would result in somebody calling the mobilization?
So just a little something about the beginning of the mobilization. One of the things I found is that the calls are coming from people that know the other person. Most of the calls are people that know somebody that's going through a mental health challenge. Means that people are making calls, like the mobilization unit is working, the number is working, people are calling. And so when they call, they are calling for a person. And so the thing is, when they call, the person has to admit and consent to the services or whatever. But that's a good thing. But we're looking for more and more people to call. You know, people that feel like they're having suicidal ideations and they're not feeling good about themselves, or something is wrong, or you just can't figure it out.
Let's say I'm a mother and my daughter seems to be having some challenges. You know, I can call the mobilization number.
Yes.
And then they would call one of the units.
Yeah. and we'd come out.
And what do you do when you go out?
So I had a situation like that.
Okay.
Yep, we come out. And so as a peer, we have peer support specialists and clinicians that's in the van.
Mhm.
I'm a peer support specialist.
Okay.
Peer support specialist initially makes the first contact because I have the lived experience.
Okay.
I make the first contact. I do an assessment first, see what's going on, make sure everything's safe there, the environment or whatever. And then I talk to her. And the whole goal about the de-escalation is to affirm. Basically, is to wherever they at, try to meet them. If you meet a person where they at when they're going through something 9 times 10, they just want you to understand. It doesn't matter if a person say his name is Kyle or my name is Jaguar, and they are going through it. Call them Jaguar.
Okay.
You must give people what they want at that time.
Mm-hmm.
That's to everybody. You don't know your husband, brother, sister, daughter. Somebody might come in and just say something that just don't make sense. Don't question them about it because something could be wrong, which means that we have to consciously be aware of what's going on. Not just because of what's going on now, but we should have always done that.
Okay.
And my number is 313-370-2160.
Say it again.
313-370-2160. And my name is Dwight Harris.
Okay, wonderful.
And my company is Icon 10.
Okay, very
My
good.
company is Icon 10. We do a lot of.
But if they want,
So the crisis number is 1-800-849-4949.
1-800-849-1949.
1-800-241-4949.
1-800-241-4949.
It's 1-800-241-4949. And when you call that number, you can let them know what's the problem, and then it'll go to the proper department. And then if it's a deployment issue, then people will be sent out.
And that's a 24-hour operation.
Right now, I go to 11.
11. Okay.
Yeah, but hopefully, I think next month we will start the midnight. I will be working midnight.
Okay.
I will be working from 7 at night to 7 in the morning. And you can't call for me.
You just call that number and they'll send somebody.
But no, it's crazy. So when I go out, like I'm noticing that it's all you have to have passion, really. It ain't about the work. Like, don't try to get the job just because you go get some money. You got to really feel the work that you do. Like this work I do anyway. I wasn't on a mental health platform. I was just working. And we do deal with situations like that. But now that I'm on that platform, I say we have to be a lot more humble when we, like, I hear people talking about mental health. It's like saying a prayer. I learned that you don't say a prayer, oh God, he can't hear you. You have to talk to God because he speaks to you in a still small voice. So you have to speak in a still small voice when you talking to people, because people got to hear you. Like, you can't yell at them, you can't scream at them.
Oh.
And any question, anybody have any questions, we will answer.
And there's one. How did families deal with domestic violence during COVID?
Wow. Domestic violence
During
was on the rise. It really was. Now, that was one of the biggest issues. Not only was women was doing things to men too.
Okay.
There were women, kids were killing their parents during COVID because of whatever they was in. I noticed that people had to be around their families more, or their households more, and people figured out that they didn't like each other for real.
Okay. And that's a real issue.
Because you couldn't go nowhere. Everybody was forced
to stay in the house.
And people lied about leaving. One thing I want everybody to know, during COVID, do everybody remember when everything was shut down, right?
Yep.
I'm talking about, you couldn't go. Do you know how crowded the streets was? I was trying to figure out where they was going.
Oh.
I'm saying in real life, you can't lie. You
could
couldn't lie during COVID. I'm finna go to what's name house, because I know they wasn't letting you in, but unless they was crazy or something, right?
Yes.
Where were they going? That lets you know people get up and go nowhere every day.
Wow.
That's an example.
Yeah.
Tell what was they going? Was they going to make I say everything was closed. But
And
everybody was outside driving though. I'm saying going where? That's my point. I ain't got to say nothing else. So people went through it during COVID in real life. So guess what? After COVID was over, they didn't want to drive no more. Why? Because it didn't make sense to drive during COVID. They didn't get nothing out of it.
Oh, wow.
After COVID, it wasn't nothing to get unless you was working during COVID. You had to figure, a lot of people had to figure out a whole different career because they mind, career choice, because they mind had changed during COVID. People don't even know their mind changed during COVID.
Oh, my.
You know why? Because they won't go back to work. Your mind have to change. You know you got to work. You know you got to get money and take care of your family. You found an excuse not to go. Everybody excuse COVID.
Wow.
Right now.
Wow. Okay, from Shirley Johnson. Is the condition that a person wants to harm themselves or someone else?
Harm themselves. Yeah, harm themselves. If they harm somebody else, that's police. But if they want to harm themselves, yes, call.
And that is a situation where oftentimes parents or siblings, as you say, were in the house with each other and had never been in the house with each other all the time.
True.
And discovered that, oh my goodness, I really don't want to be in here with them. I don't like them. I don't want to be around them. And that caused some serious family issues.
Listen, the husband and the wife. This is what I learned during COVID, right? So I'm just being transparent.
Yeah.
Everybody know I'm just, I don't know how to talk nothing else. I don't know nothing else. Everybody was cheating. People that was cheating, right?
Okay.
You had to be at home.
You couldn't go cheat.
You couldn't cheat. So she couldn't leave, right? She couldn't leave. He couldn't leave. So guess what happened? He got mad at her. She had an attitude. And so most of them got real mad. He got mad over there. She got mad. Well, I'm gone. So then they left and he went over there and she went over there. So everybody was basically with the piece, the side piece. They wasn't at home, and the wife was with her side piece too, because he left and went over there. Oh my. Yes, you had a lot. There were side pieces. You couldn't, the side piece couldn't see nobody doing COVID. They was in the house. So you can't lie to your wife and say, I'm gonna go to, you can't go.
I'm going to the
you lying. No.
You couldn't go to the club.
Store, McDonald's, nobody's house. You know they wouldn't let you. If he did, he lying. And some of y'all gay or something. If you're going over his house doing COVID, you know, things like that, right? So I'm just saying, just real talk. So there was issues during COVID. Yes, people were fighting in the households. Yes, they were killing each other. Yes, the women were killing the men then because they was up close and they knew they was, divorce. She got, a lot of divorces.
I got divorced.
Listen. If we ask people, what did you lose during COVID? I swear people gonna say, I lost my man, I lost my husband, I lost my job. They lost all the critical pieces during COVID.
And now they got to recover. And it takes a long time to get all that stuff back.
Let me tell you, so we got to get a resolve. This is the Community Bell Show, right?
Yeah.
Don't be cheating because it can happen again. Like, don't cheat. Just be straight up. Just deal with it. Just tolerate her. You tolerate him. Because it's going to be over tomorrow. No matter what. You're going to think about it a week later that you shouldn't have did it. So just think about it. If you feel like that, don't do it because it could come a time that you're going to be tested. Like, is you going to leave house? Is you going to go spend some time with her or not? I'm saying don't mess your household up because of situations or circumstances. Just be straight up with yourself. If you can't handle it, the dude, I ain't gonna say that, but don't just tolerate it. I'm saying if we, I'm saying what I'm learning though. What I'm learning is that it's tolerance. Tolerance is less wanted than opposition. I don't want to beef with you, her. See, I don't want to beef with you.
You don't want to beef.
Listen, I'm talking about in real life.
Yeah.
I cannot be the woman with her mouth. There's nothing that I can do.
Okay.
No, I don't know the words. I don't know how to craft them. I don't know how to put them together. And I don't know the words to touch her like she touched me.
Okay.
I don't want to try. I don't want to try you because you're going to say something that's going to hurt me. So what I tell dude, Just tolerate it. Go outside somewhere, go walk. It's gonna be okay. We come back because they will change though. She will change it up.
Okay.
Don't do it. So we close. I mean, I just believe that let's make sure that we are always say, let's be friendly, let's be caring to each other. Let's remember that you go through the same thing the next person go through, which means that the same way that you would want to be treated, treat the next person. And if you can't do it, just be mindful of it. That's all. Just think about it. Just tell yourself that when things happen, I'm going to do this. Tell yourself that you're going to do that and remove the thoughts that make you say, I have to respond in such a negative way, because we want peace on earth and goodwill to men. You can't do that if you judge and you being biased and you continue to hold stigmas over people's heads. Those stigmas lead to all kinds of things.
That's right.
It makes crime, people hurt people and
That's
all
right.
kinds of things. So,
And people don't really mean to do it. And after it's done, there's nothing you can do about it.
yes.
There's nothing you can do about it. And that leads us right into something called Detroit for Life. Project Clean Slate.
Yeah.
And what Project Clean Slate does, it helps you to remove those negative items on your background check. So if you have things that you've done and you were in jail for whatever reason, go get it expunged. There are free expungement programs for Detroiters. The program is called Project Clean Slate.
And it works.
It
I can tell you
does
that.
work. It does work. So if your record has been horrible, you couldn't get a job because of it, get with Project Clean Slate.
Yeah.
Project Clean Slate has helped so many people.
Yeah.
And of lots of young people that who were in jail,
Yeah.
came out, couldn't get a job,
Yeah.
couldn't get an apartment because of the record. This expungement program works. So if you are in Detroit, you live in Detroit, don't be afraid. They are looking for you. They want to help you. They want to help you get your life together. It's called Project Clean Slate. It's free. It's an expungement program for Detroiters. It's going to help you be able to get your wife together, your children together, your life together. You might decide to buy a house. You can call Ken Scott, and he'll help you buy a house, because now you've got $25,000 that the city of Detroit is providing as a grant to City of Detroit residents to help you buy that house. Who ever heard of that? $25,000 to help you buy that house. So get with Detroit for Life, Project Clean Slate.
Also, let me add. So one of the things I talked to the city about was an amnesty for people that have warrants. The thing is, a lot of people that have warrants, they run it. They would do anything to stay on the run. They don't want to go to jail. They go kill, hurt, rob. And so we trying to figure a way for people to be able to clean that part before they go, because a lot of people have warrants and different things hanging over them before they could clean their slate. So I'm trying to figure a way with the city to figure out how we can help them clean the slate with some type of amnesty program, because a lot of them got these just hanging over their head, these hanging over this head, but we can help them, and then that helps.
And they don't know they can be helped. So we need to get that word out that you too could be helped.
Yes.
Thank you, Dwight. I appreciate you so much. And
thank you.
And in talking about the things that I really never thought about, and particularly COVID and all the folks in the house who don't like each other and they can't go any place. And now they got to be together.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's got to be horrible to be inside with people you don't like, and you can't go anywhere and nothing you can do about it. That would send anybody over the edge. That would send people right over the edge.
A lot of people are by
And
themselves because of that right now.
But a lot of them have been sent over the edge, I think, because of that. Thank you so much. Thank you. We've got some more to talk about, because I know you just applied for the new grant that the city of Detroit has. What's it called?
Community Violence Intervention, CVI.
CVI. And we're going to see how that, when it comes up, we're going to have you come back and talk about it.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody. This has been the Community Bell Show. Stellar Award winning WVTC We love you. Come see us again next Monday. We have just good people talking plain sense stuff that we all need to hear about. Have a great week. We'll see you next Monday. All right.
I love teaching others because when I first got into the healthcare field, people overlooked me. I was really a ninth grade dropout who had no education, but I was determined to make something of myself for my baby. So Motor City matched the funds I put into my business. They awarded me $20,000. So now I'm able to focus solely on first step healthcare training and give it everything that it needs. All because I live in Detroit.
Hey, my name is Joe Smith. I'm a filmmaker here in Detroit, and I watch WVTC and listen. Watch and listen. You got the eyes and ears, both.
Thank you for listening to Community Bell with your host, former Wayne County Commissioner Edna Bell. This broadcast was brought to you by WVTC Radio Detroit. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, our website, www.wvtcradio.com, or download our WVTC app from the Play Store for Android users and the App Store for iPhone users. If you've enjoyed this broadcast, tell a friend to tune in. We'll see you next Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern to the Community Bell Show, right here on WVTC Radio Detroit.
This is WVTC Detroit, your award-winning gospel internet radio station. We're bringing you the best in gospel music, live shows, and inspiring interviews. Like and share our page on Facebook and YouTube. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay connected. Your support helps us spread positivity and encouragement throughout the community. So whether you download our WVTC app, visit our website at WVTCDetroit.com, or join us on Facebook or YouTube, you will stay connected and entertained. Join our WVTC Detroit listener family today and tell your friends about us. Together, we can make a difference. WVTC Detroit, where gospel meets the community. Go to your Apple or Google Play Store and download the WVTC Gospel Radio app today. You can also say, Alexa, play WVTC Radio Skills.
Would you like to play WVTC Radio Network?
Absolutely. Download it today.
You're listening to WVTC Gospel Radio Detroit, and we're flowing in the Spirit.